No one likes to think of themselves as someone who's prone to getting involved in a deadly freak accident that might make headlines. What most people don't know is that freak accidents are closer to them than they think. As a matter of fact, they are surrounded by things on a daily basis that can easily kill them. So today, we're going to take a look at 8 everyday things that can actually kill you. Number 8. Overripe potatoes. Fried, mashed, oven roasted, or scalloped, there are hundreds of ways out there that you can cook potatoes, and I think we can all agree that no matter how they're cooked, these root vegetables make a delicious side dish or can even be the star of the show. So it might come as a surprise to a lot of people that this delicious and seemingly harmless vegetable is poisonous. And that's not all. It's capable of inducing a coma, or in many cases, death, within a mere 24 hours of consumption. And to truly show you the dangers of this deadly vegetable, let's go back in time to 2013, where the death of an entire family that was killed by overripe potatoes sent shockwaves across the internet. A Russian family was storing a bag of potatoes for the winter in their home cellar. Not realizing that the bag of potatoes had been rotting away for a while, law professor Mikhail Chelishev entered the cellar and failed to reappear or respond minutes later. Worried about her husband, his wife followed him to the cellar and also failed to reappear. Their 18-year-old son followed suit and suffered the same fate as his parents. And that's when the grandmother called for help before going into the cellar to check up on them, only to succumb to death as well. It turns out that the culprit that wiped the entire family was the toxic gas emitting from the bag of rotten potatoes. So next time you see a rotten potato, you might want to think twice before consuming it. Number 7. Water. Water is the essence of life. There isn't a creature on this earth that can survive for long without it. While it's essential for our survival, water is also considered a double-edged sword, as it's also capable of killing us. In 2007, a 28-year-old California woman was taking part in a Nintendo contest hosted by a radio station. She managed to drink a staggering 6 liters of water in 3 hours. Keep in mind that the recommended daily requirement for women is 2.7 liters a day. Other than the throbbing headache and the vomiting, the woman didn't suffer from other symptoms that would make one think that they're on the brink of death. Unfortunately, she passed away on the same day from water intoxication. Her tragic story begs the question, how much water is too much? And more importantly, how can you tell if you're suffering from water intoxication? Many factors such as age, gender, and overall health play a key role when it comes to water intoxication. It depends from one person to another, and there isn't a specific amount of water that could kill you. When you're putting your body in a state where you're drinking more than it could get rid of the excess water, this is where things can get dangerous. Our kidneys are capable of flushing out about 1 liter of water in an hour and a total of 20 to 28 liters throughout the day, so it's not recommended that you drink more than a liter per hour for several hours in a row. Water intoxication can be confusing because its symptoms are almost identical to that of dehydration. People experience nausea, vomiting, headache, muscle cramping, and fatigue, so they think that dehydration is the culprit for their symptoms and drink more, exacerbating their intoxication even more. It's recommended to seek medical attention if you notice similar symptoms, as untreated water intoxication can lead to brain swelling, coma, and death within a couple of hours. Number 6. Toothpaste. There's no doubt that at some point in our lives we've wondered why we avoid swallowing toothpaste after brushing our teeth. Is it really that dangerous? What would happen if we accidentally swallowed a large amount? According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, there are 2 types of toothpaste, one that doesn't contain fluoride and one that does. When you swallow, let's say, an entire tube of non-fluoride toothpaste, the worst thing that can happen to you is a painful stomachache, and that's it. However, If you were to swallow a large amount of toothpaste that contains fluoride, it can be very harmful to your body. Fluoride is a poisonous substance that can cause stomach pains, blocked intestines, seizures, diarrhea, drooling, difficulty breathing, and eventually a heart attack. Number 5. Pain relief medications. You would never think that something that you could easily buy from any drugstore or pharmacy like pain relief without the need for a prescription could be deadly. But not only is it deadly, but it can take anywhere between 4 to 18 days to fully take effect and kill you. And by then, even if someone discovers that they have overdosed on a pain relief medication and seek medical attention, there's little to be done if the medication has caused irreversible liver damage. Take Tylenol, for example. It's a pain relief sold over the counter for mild conditions like period cramps, headaches, colds, or even toothaches. It's safe to say that no one would think twice before taking a Tylenol pill, but what they don't know that its overdose is as dangerous as an opioid overdose. Tylenol can damage liver cells to the extent of liver failure, and according to statistics, 29% of the cases suffering from Tylenol overdose require a liver transplant, while 28% of the cases die. Number 4. Button batteries. Button batteries, they're small, cheap, and almost used in every kid's toy, calculators, watches, remote controls, and the list goes on. The combination of their small size coupled with their availability in toys for young children makes button batteries one of the deadliest objects that you can keep inside your house. These small batteries pose so many different threats in different ways. If someone were to swallow one by accident, the first threat that they'll be facing is choking. Due to its small size, it's extremely easy for it to get lodged in the esophagus and cause the person to choke. And if by some miracle the battery didn't cause the person to choke, its yet deadliest threat is the production of sodium hydroxide, which many will recognize by its common name, caustic soda. Unlike swallowing a coin that's almost the same size as the button battery but doesn't cause as much damage and can be left for a day or so, the more time that passes after swallowing a battery, the more damage that it will do. Number 3. Dryer. There's a very good reason that carbon monoxide has earned the morbid nickname the Invisible Killer. It doesn't have a smell, a taste, a color, or anything that would raise any red flag. As a matter of fact, carbon monoxide signs are not so alarming that people ignore them most of the time, not knowing that it's a matter of time that they might lose consciousness and collapse to their death. People think of obvious tools and appliances when they think of things that can produce carbon monoxide poisonings like gas grills, water heaters, and furnaces. However, dryers can also cause carbon monoxide poisoning, especially if there isn't a proper vent system that allows this deadly gas to escape. And even if there's a vent system that allows it to, a clogged gas dryer can also put you at risk of CO poisoning. You might be thinking that cleaning out the lint trap on a regular basis prevents this disaster from happening. However, that's not the case, as only a small amount of the lint can be caught in the lint trap. The majority of the lint might be floating around inside the dryer itself, which makes it extremely important to get it cleaned by a professional at least once every 2 years. Number 2. Candles. With their wafting perfumes that can transform the ambiance of any room, scented candles are almost a necessity that can be found in many homes around the world. Unfortunately, on a similar note to that of the dryer, with its carbon monoxide poisoning dangers, candles can be equally as dangerous, if not more. Researchers have discovered that the toxins emitted from scented candles are laced with the same chemicals you'd find in cigarettes, especially if the candle is cheaply made from paraffin wax, a wax that releases substances dangerous to our health. And as if the previously stated fact isn't enough to make you avoid buying another candle for the rest of your life, it's also worth noting that the odds of a candle causing a rug or a curtain to catch on fire are high. And if the fire doesn't get to you, the carbon monoxide will. Number 1. Bathtubs. When people think of drowning, chances are they'll think of pools, lakes, rivers, the ocean, or practically any large body of water. But what they don't know is that the very own place where you take a hot bath in the evening can also be as deadly as the oceans and seas. Statistics have shown that an average of 87 children drown in a bathtub every year, and sadly, 80% of them die. Those who don't die by drowning, they're often left with permanent brain damage that can affect their memory, basic functioning, and can cause a disability. And that's all the everyday things that can kill you that we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And before you go, if you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe to Weeklypedia and click that notification bell to be alerted whenever we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.